What's going on, guys? So I got a lot of questions regarding how I go ahead and analyze these rental properties, whether it be on the MLS or it's an off-market deal. How do I go ahead and analyze these deals? So today I wanted to share with you how I do it, and hopefully it can help you analyze those rental properties. And I'll be also sharing with you guys the Excel spreadsheet that I use and my company uses in order to analyze these rental properties. So stay tuned and hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so I thought I'd just record the screen and also my face too, just because I thought it might be easier to show you how I go through it step by step on the computer, and it's just easier for me to show you guys how I go ahead and analyze these rental properties on my computer. So hopefully this is really helpful, and I'm also going to leave the link to this Excel spreadsheet in the link in the description down below, so then you guys can go ahead and check the Excel sheet out and also go ahead and use it for your real estate investment analysis as well, so then you guys can go ahead and analyze your rental properties as well. So hopefully this helps, and I'll just get right into it. So let's say that we are analyzing a property. I'm just gonna pull up one from our website just because it's just easier. And let's say we are going to do a rental property analysis on this property. So the very first thing I'll do is just go to Zillow, and you can go to Redfin, you can go to Trulia, whichever sites you'd like to use on your own. But for me, I think Zillow is maybe the most accurate, and it's the easiest one that we use. So again, whichever one you like, but this is the one that we are currently using. And so once you go ahead and search your property that you want to analyze, then the very first thing that you can see is it shows you the number of bed and baths. Sometimes these can be wrong. You might want to check again with whoever you're in contact with. If you're in contact with a wholesaler, if you're in contact with the seller directly, you want to make sure that these are actually correct, because we had a lot of times where it says 3 bed 1 bath, but it's actually 2 bed 1 bath, or it's actually vice versa. They say it's 2 bed 1 bath here, but then it's actually a 3 bed 1 bath house. So you're going to want to check that out and make sure that you double check that. And you can also see the square footage here. This is usually very accurate. And it also tells you the Zestimate, they call it, which is what they think the property's worth, but I wouldn't really look at that. It's not really the most accurate most of the time, so you can kind of ignore it. And if you want other information like what year it's built or whatnot, you can go ahead and scroll down. But otherwise, this is pretty much the most important information that you probably want to look at when you're analyzing a rental property. And so once we close out of there, what we do is we make sure that we go ahead and click sold here. So you're looking at all the comparable properties nearby your property, and seeing how much they sold for, and seeing all the properties that sold by near you. So once you click on this, you can go ahead and now enter the number of bedrooms and bathrooms that you also want to see. So for the bedrooms, I put 3 because our property that we're analyzing has 3 bedrooms, and for bathrooms I'm putting 2. But in some cases you might not get as many comps as you'd like with a 2 bathroom home. So in that case, you can put it down to 1.5 or 1 if you're not getting enough comps. But just to see what it's going to look like, I just put 2 over here, since our property is a 3 bed 2 bath home. And for home type, you can go ahead and leave this all here. If you're analyzing a single family home, chances are all the ones that are nearby you are going to be single family homes. So but if you want to make sure that none of the apartment buildings or multifamily comes up in your comparables, you can always take those out. But I don't think it's going to really matter most of the time. Then once you click here more, then what you want to do is you want to click sold in the last 6 months. So that way you can go ahead and get the most recent properties that have been sold nearby your property. And where it says square feet, what you'd like to do is, our property I believe was about 1,234 square feet, so you want to subtract 250 from there, and that would leave us with 1,000. And 1234 plus 250 would be 1,500. So you're looking into the range of 1,000 to 1,500 square feet property homes. So then you can go ahead and analyze and compare it with the property that has the same or comparable amount of square footage as the one you're analyzing. So once you have all that done, you can just click done here and you can zoom out. And I also put the price here at 50K minimum because I don't want anything. This neighborhood, I know that most of the properties are around this range, and anything below that, the properties are either in pretty bad condition or it's just not the homes that I want to be comparing it with. So I just put that here. Most of the other times you can put 0 and you can find other properties too, but in this example I'm just going to put 50. So you can see more of the new and renovated homes, and so that way you can see what your ARV is as well. So let's zoom out here, and you can see we're not finding too many comps. We found 2, one at 82 and one at 50. So what you want to do here, if you're not getting as many comps, you can bring this sold and last to 12 months. So this is going to give you a lot more properties nearby, hopefully. And 12 months is still not bad. It's still 1 year within. You're still comparing with all the properties that has sold in the last year. It's not as good as the 6 months, but it's still pretty recent. And 12 months is, the next step that you should try checking out if you're not getting enough comps nearby your area. So now you can see there's a lot more, and you can see this is our properties around this area, and you can see, one property in this, probably 0.2 miles away, sold for $82,000. Others are 67, 64, 75, 63, 50, and these are all within the criteria that we wanted them. So 3-bed, 2-bath, between 1,000 to 1,500 square feet, 1,500 square feet, and you can see, okay, so when I take the average of all of these, it's probably going to be about 70 to 75,000 ARV. So once you determine that on Zillow, then you can go ahead and go over here and go through the financial template that we have here. Let's say the purchase price that you're purchasing the property for is 52, as it says on our site, 3-bed, 2-bath, property type is single family home, and the square footage, I believe we said it was 1234. And so we can put that here. Now, in order to find the rent amount for calculations, what we use is something called Rentometer. And so currently this property is renting out at $800 a month, and there's a tenant in there. I believe the lease is there until October. What you can do is go to Rentometer and check if your property is renting at or around the median price, or if it's renting below, then you can push the rent higher, or if it's renting too high, then it means that if the tenant moves out, then you might run into some problems because your rent's going to be lower, so you're going to have to account for that. But anyway, let's see what this rent would be. It seems like I used up all the free trials on Rentometer, so I don't think I'll get anything back here, but I can try. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. But what you would do is you'll go to analyze address, and it'll pretty much shoot out a few rents nearby your areas. And let's say that it said like 800 for median price, 750 for average. We usually take this median price that comes out, so $800 if it says 800 is the median price, and that's exactly what our property is. So we'll be like, okay, great, so it's renting out at the median rent price, let's put that here. For the property taxes, we do that work for you here as well on our site, but if you are analyzing your own deal, let's say, so if it's in Cleveland, the way you can go ahead and find out is you go to myplace.cuyahoga-county.us/main page, as you can see right over here. And this is a Memphis property. This is for Cleveland. So for Memphis, you can go to, let's see, Memphis taxes. So in Memphis, there's two things. You need to look up the city taxes, and you should also look up the state taxes. And once you combine those two, let's see, right over here. So you put all these property locations up. Again, this is going to take some time. So what you would do is you would add what you get from the city and what you get from the county. And let's say the taxes added up to, in here we already did the calculation, so it's, where is it? Taxes are 37, so 37 times 12, 444. So 444 annually. Oh yeah, by the way, these are annual, and we put it on our site as monthly, but you know, here it's annual on our sheet. So 444 and estimated annual homeowners insurance. So the way we calculate that is we have the purchase price multiplied by 0.0065, and that's going to get you the closest estimated annual homeowners insurance price, and this is going to be your annual expenses. And so once you input this rental property analyzer, it's pretty much going to calculate everything else for you. And right over here, you can change the vacancy, maintenance, management fee to however you want it. You know, if you're a little more conservative, you're like, oh, it might be 10% withheld for vacancy, 10% held for maintenance. Again, you're more than welcome to go ahead and change that. I'm just going to leave them as 5 as it is right now. And so once you're happy with all the numbers that are here, you can go ahead and see here that your estimated cash purchase monthly income, which is your cash flow, is $655, which is a cap rate of 15%. And this is if you purchase this in cash. So that's exactly what we have on our site here, 655, 15% cap rate. But let's say that you're thinking of buying your property that you're analyzing with financing, with leverage. And so if that is the case, you can go here and figure out what are the terms of the financing that you're trying to get. So if you're getting a purchase price $52,000, loan amount is $41,000, and this is assuming that it's a 20% down with a low interest. So it can be different. You might have a 15%, 25% down payment, and depending on your credit score and your history, you might not be able to get the low interest that you're looking for. So 5% seems like it's pretty average, but if you have an amazing credit score, you might be able to get something like 4.75, 4.5%. But if you are a new investor, you might be getting something like 5.25 or 5.3, 5.4%. So you can adjust this number right over here, depending on what you get approved from the bank with. And you can see if you change that number, it'll change your cash flow and whatnot too. So depending on, again, your situation, you can go ahead and change these numbers. And once you go back here, you'll be able to see that, okay, if I do purchase it with financing, I can get $425 as my monthly cash flow, and my ROI would be 38%. And every investor is different, so it really depends on what you're comfortable with. Some investors see like 15% cap rate and they're like, wow, this is great, this is a great investment. Other people want a 20% cap rate, but something that you should also keep in mind is the higher the cap rate, the more likely that your risks are involved with that property. But again, it's not always the case. It's just majority of the cases that can happen. If you're looking at a 25-30% cap rate property, chances are it's a lot more of a riskier investment than a 10 to 15% cap rate property. But again, every investor is different. You make your decisions, but this is how we pretty much analyze our rental properties. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this Excel sheet helps you analyze your deals a lot easier. Again, it's in the description below, so go ahead and check it out. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions, whether it be in the comments below or whether you shoot me a DM on Instagram or whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.